माधवा कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय गौरानीता गौरानीताय जय जय गौरानीताय निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय 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 प्रभुपाद 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 श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती नामिने श्रीवार्षभानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धे कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुरी जल प्रेमाढ़ श्रीरूपानुक भक्तिद श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमोते दीनतारिणी रूपानुग वृद्धाप सिद्धांत ध्वंतहरिणी नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्य मूर्ते विप्रलंबर सांबोधे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः। नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौर शक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगबराय ते गौराविर्भाव भूमि स्वनिर्देश सज्जल प्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महवदान्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णा कृष्णचैतन्यनामनगो कृष्ण नमः। पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्ण भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पति गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्तकांचन गौरांगी श्राद्धे वृंदावनेश्वरी विषमानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। So we are in the 18th chapter. Maharaj Parikshit cursed by Brahmana boy. Okay. The Brahmana's curse. Sutovacha यो वै द्रौणी अस्त्र विप्लुष्टो न मातो रुदरे मृतः अनुग्रहाद भगवतः कृष्णस्याद्भुतकर्मणः. Whatever verses are there in this section, somebody should put it in the group, and we'll try to revise those verses also, because in your oral exams it will be easy for you to give. यो वै द्रौणी अस्त्र विपृष्टो यह. One, why? Certainly. Why means certainly. One who is certainly. Okay, till there we'll stop. Then Drauni Astraha, by the weapon of the son of Drona. Viplushtaha, burnt by. Na, never. So when the child is in the womb of mother, Matuhu Udarehe, Mritaha, he should have met his death. It did not happen like that. Why? Anugrahata Bhagavataha Krishnasya Adbhuta Karmana. This is the most wonderful act which happened. That is a mercy of the Supreme Personality of God. Now he was tried to be killed by Drauni, son of Dronacharya, Shrathama. But it did not happen like that, because he had complete mercy of Krishna. So Krishna acts very wonderfully. That is why he is Trivikrama. Trivikrama, one of the name of Krishna is Trivikrama. One who can win the whole entire creation. One who can win the entire creation. Trivikrama. One who conquered everything from Bali Maharaj. Everything belongs to Krishna only. So this act is also so wonderful that has been given. Okay. Raksha Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. The sages of Naimisharanya become struck with the wonder after hearing about the wonderful administration of Maharaj Parikshit, especially in the reference to his punishing the personality of Kali and making him completely unable to do any harm within the kingdom. Sutta Goswami was equally anxious to describe Maharaj Parikshit's wonderful birth and death, and this verse is stated by Sutta Goswami to increase the interest of the sages of Naimisharanya. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So this verse is told by Sutta Goswami to the sages of Naimisharanya. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna is there to protect his devotees. That is what every day we should chant. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna is there at all the circumstances. And Krishna has taken a personal responsibility to protect the devotees. Next. Brahma kopotitadyastu takshakat prana viplavat na sammo mohorubhayat na sammu mohorubhayat bhagavatyarpitashayah. Brahma kopotitadyastu. Kopa means anger. Brahma kopaha. Brahmana was very angry. Who was very angry? The son of that Brahmana. He was very angry. And what he did? Uttithat. Yaha takshakat. So he cursed that your prana viplavat, that your dissolution or your death will be because of the snake bird. Sammo moha. We have heard this word moha. This is sammo moha. That means completely overwhelmed. Uru Bhayat. Uru Bhayat. Great fear. Now, Bhagavati Arpitaha Ashaya. He is completely surrendered to Krishna. That is why Na Sammomoha. He is not overwhelmed. He is not in great fear. Who? Parikshit Maharaj. Because he has Ashaya Arpitaha. Consciously surrendered to Krishna. One is in subconscious way you are surrendering to Krishna. But here consciously he has surrendered to Krishna. Even though he knew that the curse is there, he could have counteracted the curse. That power even Parikshit Maharaj has. But he allowed the curse of the Brahmana to act. Because that is a respect which is given to the Brahmana. The Brahmana has cursed, take it. That is the respect which is given. But Parikshit Maharaj has the capacity to counteract. He did not do that. That is transgressing the Vedic principles. Now it so happened when Madhvacharya was chanting Dwadasha Stotra, every day he used to teach Dwadasha Stotra. There, a bull used to come every day. And bull also used to hear Dwadasha Stotra, along with the Brahmanas over there. It so happened some question was asked, Brahmana could not answer. Those Brahmanas could not answer. Madhvacharya told, oh bull, you recite. The bull started reciting all the stotras and whatever, not exactly the way Madhvacharya was giving. Then all the Brahmanas got annoyed and they felt insulted that we are not able to answer. Intentionally, Madhvacharya has asked the bull, that means we are tougher than the bull or what? In this way, they got upset. So they cursed the bull that a snake will come and bite you. Then it so happened the snake came, bit. Madhvacharya could have contracted. Intentionally, he allowed the Brahmana's curse to act upon. So the bull died, but again Madhvacharya chanted Dwadasha Stotra. The bull revived. So sometimes we have to allow the Brahmana's curse to act upon. If you see even in Parashuram's case also. In Parashuram's case also. Parashuram's father wanted to asked Parashuram to behead his mother's head. He listened, but it was a wrong instruction given, but he did not object it. That is how in our Vedic, in the Vedic system, Brahmana's words used to be taken very seriously and sincerely. And as a Kshatriya, Parikshit Maharaj could have contracted, he has not done that. And at the same time, he was not afraid also, because he is a pure devotee of Krishna and he has complete faith in Krishna. Okay, Sanjay Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna. A self-surrendered devotee of the Lord is called Narayan Parayan. Such a person is never afraid of any place or person, not even of death. For him, nothing is as important as the Supreme Lord, and thus he gives equal importance to heaven and hell. He knows well that both heaven and hell are creations of the Lord, and similarly, life and death are different conditions of existence created by the Lord. But in all conditions and in all circumstances, remembrance of Narayan is essential. The Narayan Parayan practices this constantly. Maharaj Parikshit was such a pure devotee. He was wrongfully cursed by an inexperienced son of Brahman who was under the influence of Kali, and Maharaj Parikshit took this to be sent by Narayan. He knew that Narayan, Lord Krishna, had saved him when he was burned in the womb of his mother, and if he were to be killed by a snake bite, it would also take place by the will of the Lord. The devotee never goes against the will of the Lord. Anything sent by God is a blessing for the devotee. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit was neither afraid of nor bewildered by such things. Devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
This is a sign of a pure devotee of Lord. Maharaj Parikshit was neither afraid of nor bewildered by such things. Next. Utsrujya sarvatah sangam vigyata samstitihi vayyasakirjahau shishyo gangayam swam kalevaram. Utsrujya sarvatah sangam vigyata samstitihi vayyasakirjahau shishyo gangayam swam kalevaram. Now, Utsrujya Sarvatah Sangam. Utsrujya. He left all the association. Vigyatah. After understanding this, he left all the association. He is Ajitah. Who? Krishna. He has taken shelter of Ajitah, who is never conquered. Samstitah. So this is, he understood the actual position of the Lord, that he is Ajita. Vayyasaki Jahau. Vayyasaki Jahau. Vayyasaki Jahau Shishya. He surrendered unto Vayyasaki. Gangayam Swam Kalivaram. After giving up everything, he surrendered unto the son of Vyasa, Vayyasaki, that is Sukadeva Goswami. And in this way, they were sitting on the banks of Ganga. And he was ready to give up his material body. Thus, he gave up his material body. Sitting on the banks of Ganga, surrendering unto Sukadeva Goswami, giving up all the association. Here, Parikshit Maharaj gave up Kalevaram, his own body. So here, Ajitah, this word is very, very significant. Krishna is unconquerable. That is the position of Krishna. Nobody can conquer him. So then, how is he conquered? Jito Ajitaha, because there is a verse, Yani Prayasam Udapasanamanti Eva Jivanti Sanmukharitam Bhavadiya Vartam Sthane Sikashutigatam Tanuan Manogi Ye Prayaso Jito Ajitopi Asitre Istrulokyam Ye Prayasaha Jita Ajitaha. That means you can conquer him. How? Just by surrendering and loving him. The more you love him, you bind him. So he is only conquered by the devotees, though he is Ajitaha for the whole world. But he is bound by the love of Parikshit Maharaj. That is why here Ajitaha has been intentionally used. He has been conquered by Parikshit. Parikshit Maharaj was given various options when he came to know that he is going to be killed. Like you have some Sarpa dosha, then what you do? You do dosha nivaran and all those things. You come to know you have Sarpa dosha. Now you are going to be killed by a Sarpa. Immediately, a person, what he'll do? He will try to do all the dosha nivaran and somehow try to come out of this nivaran. But he did not do all these things. In fact, he utilized his time for hearing about Krishna. He said, okay, let it be. Anyhow, death is inevitable. And if I have to be killed by the curse of the Brahmana, then it doesn't matter. Let me utilize my time in hearing about Krishna. Now, as a sadhaka, we cannot do, because the moment we are cursed, will be only that thought itself will be hovering our mind. Oh, 6 days now left, 5 days left, 4 days left. We'll not be thinking about Krishna. That is why in the Vedas, there is Nivaran which is given. Okay, some dosha Nivaran you can do by taking some help of the Vedic culture, Vedic Karma Kanda Yagyas. Some dosha Nivaran can be done, because we have not yet reached that stage of prema to Krishna. Bhava prema to Krishna makes a person forget his hunger and thirst. Now there is a verse in the first chapter which you have gone through. Vayam na vitrupyam uttama shloka vikrame yashrotam rasatyanam swadu swadu pade pade. And Sukadeva Goswami is asking, hey, whole day you're sitting and hearing, don't want to eat or what? Vayam na vitrupyam. I'm not at all hungry. I'm not at all thirsty. You go on telling. Now Sukadeva Goswami is also not hungry or thirsty. We keep water bottle near us, isn't it? In 1 hour also class is there. And also we have made it a principle. Any preacher comes, there should be a glass of water which should be kept. But Parishad Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami, they did not have any water bottle or any glass kept near them. Because they were so absorbed in the narrations of Krishna, hearing and chanting the narrations of Krishna, that material thirst and material hunger automatically faded away. Anyhow, they did not have also. Only at that stage of bhava and prema, a person can appreciate the leelas of Krishna and can also appreciate that these narrations are enough to satisfy oneself. So in this way here, the king completely surrendered to Sukadeva Goswami. And he was able to understand the actual position of Krishna. And what is the actual position? Though he is Ajita, but he can be conquered by love for Krishna. You love him, you have conquered him. You have completely captivated him within your heart. Even if you see the second shloka of the first chapter. What is the second shloka of the first chapter? Bhagavatam.
Dharma projita
kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam saram tatam vedyam vastamatra vastu shivadam tapatrayonmulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Kim va parerishvaraha sadya rudya varuddhate prakutibhihi shushubhitakshana. This last line, sadya rudya varuddhate prakutibhihi. So what happens? Sadya rudya varuddhate prakutibhihi shushubhitakshana. You can, takshana means in chutki. What you can do? Bind Krishna within your heart. When you are completely given yourself to Krishna, then Krishna also completely gives himself to the devotee. There is always a competition between Krishna and the devotees. Who is most surrendered? Krishna says, you cannot beat me in that. Even I like to serve the devotees. Devotees say, we like to serve me. So these are certain verses where Krishna clearly, Brahma's praise, it will come. Jito ajitaha. In the first canto, second verse itself, Krishna's quality has been spoken. Sadya hridya varuddhate prakutibhihi shushubhitakshana. So this is the actual position of Krishna. Okay. Suladhyaksha Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The word Ajita is significant here. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is known as Ajita or unconquerable. And he is so in every respect. No one can know his actual position. He is unconquerable by knowledge also. We have heard about his Dhama or place, eternal Golok Vrindavana, but there are many scholars who interpret this abode in different ways. But by the grace of a spiritual master like Sukadeva Goswami, unto whom the king gave himself up as a most humble disciple, one is able to understand the actual position of the Lord, his eternal abode, and his transcendental paraphernalia in that Dhamma or abode. Knowing this transcendental position of the Lord and the transcendental method by which one can approach that transcendental Dhamma, the king was confident about his ultimate destination, and by knowing this, he could leave aside everything material, even his own body, without any difficulty of attachment. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated, Param Drishtva nivartate. One can give up all connection with material attachment when one is able to see the param or superior quality of things. From Bhagavad Gita, we understand the quality of the Lord's energy that is superior to the material quality of energy. And by the grace of a bona fide spiritual master like Sukadev Goswami, it is quite possible to know everything of the superior energy of the Lord, by which the Lord manifests his eternal name, quality, pastimes, paraphernalia, and variegatedness. Unless one thoroughly understands this superior or eternal energy of the Lord, it is not possible to live the material energy. However, one may theoretically speculate on the true nature of the absolute truth. By the grace of Lord, Maharaj Parikshit was able to receive the mercy of such a personality as Sukadev Goswami, and thus he was able to know the actual position of the unconquerable Lord. It is very difficult to find the Lord from the Vedic literatures, but it is very easy to know him by the mercy of a liberated devotee like a Sukadeva Goswami. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes. It is very difficult to find the Lord from the Vedic literatures, but it is very easy to know him by the mercy of a liberated devotee like Sukadeva Goswami. So that is why Guru Shishya Parampara is there. Without our Acharya's support, we can never understand the wonderful quality of Krishna. How Krishna is Ajita, how he is unconquerable. At the same time, when you love him so much, he is easily conquered. So all these things, mercy of Krishna can be understood only by the mercy of the liberated devotees. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadu, yasya prasadan nagati kutopi. Because of that is why in the morning hours, why you sing Guru Arti. Every day you should sing Guru Arti, Mangala Arti, Guru Ashtakam. Why this Guru Ashtakam is there? So that we can remember the mercy given by our spiritual master. If we are not singing that, that means we are not bringing auspiciousness in our life. So everybody compulsorily should sing morning Mangalarti prayers. Even Srila Prabhupada sings. For whom? For his Guru. His Guru also sings, because this is the most wonderful Ashtakam which is given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, where last verse says, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. Yasya, because of your mercy, I got Krishna. And because of Krishna's mercy, I got you. The sansara dava, nalira loka. This whole sansara is like the burning fire, the forest fire. It's only your mercy which is actually acting as a cloud, the showers of the cloud, because of which all my tapa automatically vanishes. So this is how you have to sing very sincerely in the morning hours. The moment you sing, you can understand that yes, our spiritual master, we are showing our indebtedness to spiritual master. And spiritual master's mercy automatically flows. You will say, if you don't sing, then also it is flowing only. Na? And if we sing, we are understanding the mercy of the spiritual master. Okay, next. Nottama shloka vartanam jushatam tat kathamrutam syat sambhramontakalepi smaratam tat padam bhujam. Nottama shloka vartanam jushatam tat kathamrutam syat sambhramonantakalepi smaratam tat padam bhujam. Na uttama shloka. Uttama shloka. Krishna's one of the name is Uttama shloka. One who is glorified by the choicest words. or whatever words you use to glorify Krishna, that becomes the topmost. Na uttama shloka vartanam jushatam tat kathamrutam syat sambramah antah kalepi smaratam tat padambujam. So now it is said, those who have vartana, those who are continuously hearing the glories of Krishna, uttama shloka, vartana. Vartana means about his glories. Jushatam means those who are engaged in always hearing kathamrutam. Kathamrutam. Katha is amritaha. Amritaha means whoever hears katha will never die. Whoever hears these transcendental topics will never die. That means his devotion will never die. Body, anyhow, we have to give it up. So those who are continuously hearing sambramaha antaha. Sambramaha anta. So he is continuously engaged in hearing the glories of Krishna, that even at the end, kalepi, even at the end, that is at the end of giving the body, at the last moment of their life, smaratam padambujam, he is remembering Krishna. So the thought of Krishna or the remembrance of Krishna is never lost. Even at the end, he is able to remember Krishna because he has dedicated his life in continuously hearing about Krishna. That is why it is given here, do not run the risk of having misconception even at the last moment of their lives. So the thought can come, what will happen to a person at the time of death? Whether he'll be remembering Krishna or not. So we know the 6 Mahavakyas, which was given by Varadaraj Perumal to Tirukachi Nambi, Kanchipurna. What was that? What was the Mahavakya? The 4th Mahavakya is, a devotee need not remember Krishna at the time of death. Need not. And 5th Mahavakya is, Krishna takes it a personal responsibility to take the devotee back home, back to God. That means what? Why he need not remember? Because he has not forgotten. You remember only when you forget, na? You have not forgotten only. Then where is the question of remembering? Like you ask the mother, are you remembering your child? She will say, where is that shana where I have forgotten the child? So very clearly it is said, a devotee need not remember Lord, because Lord has taken the personal responsibility. Because the devotee is completely engaged. This is what is a verse. He has dedicated his life in always hearing about Krishna. That is why he does not run the risk. And what is that risk of forgetting Krishna? There is no risk of forgetting Krishna. Krishna says, Santakale cha mami smaran maktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastatra samshaya. At the time of death, if you remember me, there is no doubt that you are going to attain my nature or attain my abode. But for a devotee, this verse is not necessary because he is always remembering Krishna. These verses are only for those people, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajattante kalevaram. Those whose consciousness is in dog, cat, in so many other things. These verses are for them, not for the devotees, because the devotees are completely engaged in hearing about Krishna. That is what is given here. Okay. Bindu Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The highest perfection of life is attained by remembering the transcendental nature of the Lord at the last moment of one's life. This perfection of life is made possible by one who has learned the actual transcendental nature of the Lord from the Vedic hymns sung by the liberated souls like Sukdev Goswami or someone in that line of disciplic succession. There is no gain in hearing the Vedic hymns from some mental speculator. When the same is heard from an actual self-realized soul and is properly understood by service and submission, everything becomes transparently clear. Thus, a submissive disciple is able to live transcendentally and continue to the end of life. By scientific adaptation, one is able to remember the Lord even at the end of life, when the power of remembrance is slackened due to the derangement of bodily membranes. For a common man, it is very difficult to remember things as they are at the time of death. But by the grace of Lord and his bona fide devotees, the spiritual masters, one can get this opportunity without difficulty. And it was done in the case of Maharaj Parikshit. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Next. तावत् कलि तावत् तावत् कलिर्न प्रभयेत् प्रविष्टोऽपीह सर्वशः सर्वतः यावदीशो महानुर्व्याम् अभिमन्यः एकराट् तावत् कलिर्न प्रभवेत् प्रविष्टोऽपीह सर्वतः यावदीशो महानुर्व्याम् अभिमन्यव एकराट. So तावत् कलिः न प्रभवेत्. Pravishtaha, Kali cannot enter. When, as long as api iha sarvataha yavat ishaha mahim. Mahim, great, powerful. Abhimanyavaha, son of Abhimanyu. As long as son of Abhimanyu is ruling this world, there is no chance of Kali entering this world. You see, as long as Abhimanyu's son is going to be alive and ruling this world, there is no chance of Kali, or there is no chance that the personality of Kali will flourish. That is why the whole plan is somehow remove Parikshit Maharaj. Like if you have a nice administrator in your city, then no misdealings will happen. So first thing what they do, they will transfer that administrator to another place. So that all type of atrocities, everything can be done. If a good person is there, before him, no bad things can happen. No wrong things can happen. If wrong thing has to happen, first remove him out. We see many times the transfer of the collectors and the police officials are done. When they are really too good, they are transferred to another place. Why? Wrong things have to be done now. When it will be done? When they are not there. So here also the same situation. Now Krishna wants Kali to come because Kali Yuga has to start. And as long as Parikshit Maharaj is there, Kali Yuga cannot start. Now Dwapar Yuga has to end because Krishna has left to his abode. Krishna Sudhamo Pagate. He has left to his abode. Dharva Jnana Adivisaha. Kalau Nashtadrushamesham Puranar Padunoditaha. Anyhow, Srimad Bhagavatam has evolved so that Kali's Pravaha will not be there. The influence of the Kali will not be there. But Kali has to come. For that, Parikshit Maharaj has to be removed. And as long as he is there, it cannot happen. That has been given. See how the situation is shown. Why he got cursed. It's all arrangement of Krishna. It's not that he put a dead snake onto a meditating sage. No, this is all external. What is the real reason? The real reason is all wrong things has to happen. Kali Yuga has to start. So personality of Kali can exist only if Parikshit Maharaj is not there. And as long as he rules, there is no place where Kali can reside. Kali has got 4 places, but he is searching. Where should I get that place? To the extent even gold also has been told. But then where should he find? Because everywhere there is only religious principles which are followed under the rule of Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, Mohit Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. As we have already explained, the personality of Kali had entered the jurisdiction of this earth long ago, and he was looking for an opportunity to spread his influence all over the world, but he could not do so satisfactorily due to the presence of Maharaj Parikshit. That is the way of good government. The disturbing elements like the personality of Kali will always try to extend their nefarious activities, but it is the duty of the able state to check them by all means. Although Maharaj Parikshit allotted places for the personality of Kali, at the same time he gave no chance to the citizens to be swayed by the personality of Kali.
Okay. 6th verse. Yasmin nahani yarhavi bhagavanut sasarjagam tadaivehanu vruttosavadharma prabhavah kalihi. Yasmin ahani yarheva bhagavanut sasarjagam tadaiva vehanuvritto savadharma prabhava kalihi. Yasmin ahani yariheva. So ahani means that very day. Yasmin, that very day itself. Which day? Bhagavan utsrujyagam. Gam means earth. Utsurja means left. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead left this earth, tada eva iva anuvrittaha, immediately what followed? Adharma followed. Because Krishna Sudhamo Pagate Dharma Jnana Adibisa. He left along with the Dharma. That was a concern which the rishis, the Shaunakadi rishis, the rishis of Naimisharanya had, and this was the 6th question which they asked. What will happen now? Krishna has left to his abode along with Dharma and Jnana. Any of that answer is Krishna Sudhamo Pagate Dharma Jnana Adibesaha. Bruhi Yogeshware Krishne Dharmanye Brahmanye Dharma Varmani Swam Kashtam Adunopete Dharma Jnana. Where this Dharma and Jnana has taken shelter of? The last verse, Bruhi Yogeshware Krishne Brahmanye Dharma Varmani Swam Kashtam Adunopete Dharmakam.
Sharanam Gata.
Sharanam Gataha. Where did the Dharma take shelter of? Krishna Sudhamo Pagate Dharma Jnana Adibisa Kalau Nashtadushamesham Puranarko Adunoditaha. They have taken shelter in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now here it seems to that Krishna has left along with all Dharma, everything. So that is why to promote Adharma. Prabhavaha Kalihi. So the personality of quarrel has entered. The moment Krishna left to his abode, personality of Kali enters. Kali means klesha. Kali means quarrel. Quarrel over everything. Even quarrel over whether God exists or not. There itself a quarrel starts. God is there. Then somebody says, yes, God is there. Okay, all agree God is there. God has form. Some say God has no form. Again, there is a quarrel. That means there is quarrel for everything. Right from the topic of God to every petty small things, there is always a quarrel. So, all the kinds of irreligious activities came into this world. Okay. Vrindavan Lila Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The personality of Godhead and his holy name, qualities, etc. are all identical. The personality of Kali was not able to enter the jurisdiction of the earth due to the presence of the personality of Godhead. And similarly, if there is an arrangement of the constant chanting of the holy names, qualities, etc. of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no chance at all for the personality of Kali to enter. That is the technique of driving away the personality of Kali from the world. In modernized human society, there are great advancements of material science, and they have invented the radio to distribute sound in the air. So instead of vibrating some nuisance sound for sense enjoyment, if the state arranges to distribute transcendental sound by resounding the holy name, fame, and activities of the Lord, as they are authorized in the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, then a favorable condition will be created. The principles of religion in the world will be re-established, and thus the executive heads who are so anxious to drive away corruption from the world will be successful. Nothing is bad if properly used for the service of the Lord. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay. Now in Kali Yuga, how the things happen. Auspicious things, how it happens, and inauspicious things, how it happens. Let us see. Nanu dveshti kalim samrat saranga iva sarabhuk ushalanyashu siddhyanti netarani krutaniyat. Nanu dveshti kalim samrat saranga iva sarabhuk kushalanyashu siddhyanti netarani krutaniyat. So how is Maharaj Parikshit? He knows the truth. Na anudveshti. He is not envious of Kali. Who? Emperor. Saramga. Saramga means he knows the sara. Like the bees, they are interested in drinking the honey of the flower. That means they are interested in taking the sara. He is a saragrahi. Sarabhuk. He accepts the substance. Sarabhuk means taking the substance. Vastu. Shivadam Vastu. Isa Dharma Projita Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmasaranam Satam. So in that, what happens? He's taking Srimad Bhagavatam. He's taking that Vastu. Vastu means he's taking the substance of Srimad Bhagavatam. And what is that? The whole Vedic literature condenses to Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the substance. And that substance is only the real, where prema of Krishna is there. So he takes his sarabhuk. He only takes the substance. And he is Kushalani Ashu Siddhanti. So in the Kali Yuga, what is going to happen? Auspicious things produce good effects immediately. That is why it is said morning you should chant the Mangala Arti, because it's so auspicious that it will produce immediate effects. In other yugas, for the auspicious things to produce effects is to take a long time. But in Kali Yuga, what is the advantage? Kalir dosho nidhe rajan hasti eko mahan gulaha kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param prajet. Just by doing kirtan of Krishna, one can achieve mukti. One can achieve Lord. In other yugas, they had to do tedious things. Like in Satyuga, you have to do a lot of tapasya. In Treta Yuga, a lot of yajnas. In Dwapar Yuga, a lot of deity worship. But in Kali Yuga, even though it has a lot of doshas, in Kali Yuga, full of dosho, hasti yako mahan guna. In Kali Yuga, everything, there is so much of doshas, but there is one mahan guna. Kirtana deva krishnasya. Just do kirtana of Krishna. Mukta sangha paramvrija. That is why auspicious things produce immediate effect. The most auspicious thing is chanting the holy name. Immediately it produces effect. Whereas in Kali Yuga, that is why he's not envious of Kali, because he knows the advantage of Kali. Kalir dosho nidhe rajan, hasti eko. It has so much of doshas. But he was knowing, Parikshit Maharaj was knowing that the benefit of Kali is auspicious things immediately produce effects, and inauspicious thing, what they should do? Na itarani kritani. They have to perform. Inauspicious things must be actually performed. Then only it can produce effects. Inauspicious thing has to be performed. Like you curse somebody from your heart. Nothing is going to happen. I want to kill him. Nothing is going to happen. You should go and kill him, then only it will happen. Inauspicious thing has to be performed. That is why in Kali Yuga, you need not have to be afraid of somebody's curse. Somebody curses you, somebody thinks that you should kill him. He has to do that. But in other yugas, just by thinking also, he can act upon it. But in Kali Yuga, you don't have to, even if you think also, nothing is going to happen. But you just think of auspicious thing, that is enough. That is going to have an effect. So that has been given. That how auspicious thing, even if you don't do also, just think of doing, it will have an effect. Just think, oh, tomorrow morning I should sit and chant 16 rounds. You just thought of it. Just thought of it. Immediately, all good fortune will come onto you. An inauspicious thing, you think nothing is going to happen. That means you have to work on it. You have to really do it. Like in other yugas, auspicious thing, they have to do it. Practically, they have to do it. Then only the effects is to come. But here, auspicious thing, even if you think it, still all good fortune will come down to you. So that is why Maharaj Parikshit, he was knowing the nature of Kali, even though he has doshas, but he has brought some merit. So what is seen here? That he is Saragrahi, he is Sarabhuk, and that should be the nature of a devotee. Even though he is coming across with so many people, he just have to take the Sara. What is good in a person? You can see all the doshas, but then he is ultimately creation of Krishna only. So some good thing must have been put by Krishna. Na? So try to take Sara. If that Sara is taken, then he becomes a wonderful devotee. In this only, very nice Sandarbha is there, where Daksha and Shiva, where Lord Shiva has been told that he is the greatest Vaishnava. Why? Even if he sees the mistake, he finds it, he glorifies that mistake as if it is having some quality. But Daksha, what he did, even if he is seeing a quality, he finds a mistake in it. And, and opposite is Lord Shiva. Even if he finds a person having so many mistakes, he only sees that as a quality. That is why he is Uttamaha, Uttama Bhaktaha. He comes in Uttama Bhaktaha. Okay. Vimla Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna. The age of Kali is called the fallen age. In this fallen age, because the living beings are in awkward position, the Supreme Lord has given some special facilities to them. So by the will of the Lord, a living being does not become a victim of a sinful act until the act is actually performed. In other ages, simply by thinking of performing a sinful act, one used to become a victim of the act. On the contrary, a living being in this age is awarded with the results of pious acts simply by thinking of them. Maharaja Parikshit, being the most learned and experienced king by the grace of the Lord, was not unnecessarily envious of the personality of Kali because he did not intend to give him any chance to perform any sinful act. He protected his subjects from falling prey to the sinful acts of the age of Kali, and at the same time, he gave full facility to the age of Kali by allotting him some particular places. At the end of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that even though all nefarious activities of the personality of Kali are present, there is a great advantage in the age of Kali. One can attain salvation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Thus, Maharaja Parikshit made an organized effort to propagate the chanting of the Lord's holy name, and thus he saved the citizens from the Duchess of Kali. It is for this advantage only that great sages sometimes wish all good for the age of Kali. In the Vedas also it is said that by discourse on the Lord Krishna's activity, one can get rid of all the disadvantages of the age of Kali. In the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also said that by the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Lord becomes at once arrested within one's heart. These are some of the great advantages of the age of Kali, and Maharaj Parikshit took all the advantages and did not think any ill of the age of Kali, true to his Vaishnavite cult. Hare Krishna.
Okay. That's why Bhagavatam verses should be recited. Keep it as Swadhyay. Every day, try to recite few verses. At least the first chapter of Bhagavatam should be memorized. First and second. Very good. Raksha Mataji has done. And when you're arranging the flowers, other that dhoop and all these things for Lord, at that time you should chant these verses. When you're cooking, you can chant. When you're doing the puja, when you're doing the Vigraha Sevanam, chant the verses. Now, Bhagavatam verses are so wonderful. Try to memorize the verses. All other anxieties will go away. Take this anxiety. Let me memorize Bhagavatam verses. First chapter, second chapter, Gopi Gate, Brahma Samhita. Memorize. This life is for that only. Prabhupada says, we take so many anxieties. Why don't we take the anxiety of memorizing the shlokas? So many anxieties we take. Now, what will happen to my business? Hey, what will happen? What at most, what will happen? It will shatter now. What more can happen? It will go in loss. Anyhow, what more can happen? You will not have any money. Well, what more can happen? You can come and stay in the temple and have 2 times prasad. See, so much of anxiety we take for just taking 2 times meal. So much of anxiety. What will happen to my business? Nothing is going to happen. What if I don't go to office? Okay, whatever duties are there, you're doing it. But that should not be the anxiety. The anxiety should be, have I memorized 1 shloka at least in a day or 2 times a day? 2 days. 1 shloka for 2 days. So you have to do that. If you do that, I'm telling you, all the anxieties will be automatically taken by Krishna. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. When you are memorizing the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, you are trying to drink Krishna. Eat Krishna, drink Krishna, bind Krishna. So do that. Here also it is said, Bhagavatam verses are very, very powerful verses. Just by recitation of the verses, Krishna is at once arrested. What a word. Srila Prabhupada says, you are arresting Krishna. That means what you did, you drank Krishna, you arrested him, locked him in your consciousness. So do this. Okay, 8th verse. Kim nu baleshu shurena kalinadhirabhipruna kalinadhirabhiruna apramattah pramatteshu यो वृको नृषु वर्तते किं नु बालेषु सूरेण किं नु बालेषु शूरेण कलीनाधीर भीरुणा अप्रमत्तः प्रमत्तेषु यो वृको नृषु वर्तते. Kim, what? Baleshu. Baleshu means less intelligent people whose mind is like a small child. Generally, children are considered as less intelligent. Less intelligent means they don't know viveka. Viveka means they don't know how to discriminate. That is why they are considered as less intelligent. Immediately don't think that, oh, your grandchildren and all are less intelligent. Here, intelligence here refers to viveka, discrimination. So they are less intelligent. So these less intelligent people, what they think, oh, Kali is so powerful, Shurena, he's so powerful. Now they don't have that viveka, that there is somebody who is very powerful, who is the most powerful. They just saw this Kali, oh, this Kali is very powerful. Like sometimes you threaten your children, isn't it? Small children. See, if you don't eat, the bhoo will come, bhav will come, something you say. But children are very less intelligent. They say, oh, they also think, oh, if I don't eat, somebody will come. They don't have that understanding. Krishna is there even to beat him and throw him out. So that viveka is not there. So in this way, here also, the personality of God is very powerful. Like this is less intelligent people think. But dhira purushaha, dhira, the self-controlled people, bhurena, bhiruna apramattaha pramatteshu. So what happens? He is not at all afraid. He is not afraid. He has nothing to fear. Apramattaha. He is very careful. He has nothing to fear. Kimnu baleshu shurena kalina dhira bhiruna. Others are very afraid of him, but Kalinaha is not afraid. Dhiraha is not afraid of him. Apramattaha pramatteshu yaha vrika nurushu vartate. So in this way, this king, he was also very powerful like a tiger. And what he did? Apramattaha pramatteshu. He took care of such foolish, careless people. He took care of apramattaha means he was very careful. Of whom? Pramatteshu. Those who were careless. So what is the why a person is afraid, or what is the use of being fearful? There is no use. That is why it started with Kim. Kim nu baleshu. What topic fears the less intelligent people? That is not fearful for Dhira Purusha. Dhira Bhirula. He is not at all afraid. And here king is also not afraid of Kali. So the king was very careful in taking care of careless people. Foolish, careless people. So here it is said that the king had another intention. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan writes, the king had another intention. Was there a disturbance to the foolish people by Kali? There was none, because he had fear of the devotees, those who were discerning in nature. Kali was a powerful tiger among the innocent. So was there a disturbance to the foolish people by Kali? There is a question asked. Answer is there was none. Why? In the rule of Parishit Maharaj, there were no foolish people. What answer? There were no foolish people. Foolish people were afterwards produced. There were no foolish people because they were guided by whom? Guided by Parishit Maharaj. That is why Now Kali was a powerful tiger among the innocent. Now he is going to be a powerful tiger for innocent people. But at that time, Parikshit Maharaj was very careful in taking care of his subjects. When the king takes care of the subject, what it means? He takes care of their spiritual values also, not just providing food, water, clothing, housing. All these things is not necessary. That is there for the gross body. But for the subtle body, for the soul, for the subtle body, purifying the subtle body, that is more important. So the food for the soul has to be given by the administrator. So it's the king's responsibility to give food for the soul. And Parikshit Maharaj was doing that. He was Raja Rishi. He was Raja also, Rishi also. As a Rishi, he was giving food for the soul, and as a king, he was giving food for the body. So in both the ways, these citizens were protected. So where is the question of innocent people getting hooked or getting disturbed by Kali? So very tactfully it has been told that innocents fear Kali. But Maharaj Parikshit was taking care of all the innocent people. So when a person is taking care of innocent people, there is no question of somebody getting afraid of Kali. So Kali came, nobody is afraid. Kali is trying to show some faces, nobody is afraid. Okay. Usha Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Those who are not devotees of the Lord are careless and unintelligent. Unless one is thoroughly intelligent, one cannot be a devotee of the Lord. Those who are not devotees of the Lord fall prey to the actions of Kali. It will not be possible to bring about a saner condition in society unless we are prepared to accept the modes of action adopted by Maharaj Parikshit. That is propagation of the devotional service of the Lord to the common man. Hare Krishna.
It will not be possible to bring about a saner condition in society unless we are prepared to accept the modes of action adopted by Maharaj Parikshit, that is propagation of the devotional service of the Lord to the common man. So in this way, Kali Prabha will not be there. Just by the preaching movement, helping in the missionary activity of Srila Prabhupada, just by propagation of the holy name, one can stop the influence of the Kali. That is why it is still said it is just Yugantara which is going on. Still Kali has really not shown its face, cannot also. Why? Because the holy name is spreading. People are becoming more and more aware of the preaching movements. Every devotee should take it as a personal responsibility to propagate the holy name. Another 5,000 years, it will be still a wonderful yuga. After that, the Ghor Kali faces will be seen. The influence of the Kali will be seen. As long as the holy name is spread, the earthly planet has the holy name. That holy name is enough to protect the influence of Kali. Though the Kali is showing some faces, but holy name is also counteracting all the influence. उपवर्णितं मे तद्वः पुण्यं पारीक्षितं मया वासुदेव कथोपेतम् आख्यानं यद् अपृच्छतः उपवर्णितम् एतद्वः पुण्यं पारीक्षितं मया वासुदेव कथोपेतम् आख्यानं यदपृच्छत उपवर्णितम् एतद्वः. Almost everything has been described. About whom? Punyam. Now, almost everything has been described about Vasudeva. By whom? O sages, I have described. Here Sutta Goswami is telling to Shaunakadi Rishi, I have almost described everything. And that too in connection, Upetam, in connection with whom? Parikshit Maharaj. In connection with the history of the pious Parikshit Maharaj. Akhyanam. Akhyanam means Vivarana. Akhyanam. I have given the statements. I have described. Aprachataha. Whatever you asked me. Almost I have described everything about Krishna in connection with Parikshit Maharaj. So Srimad Bhagavatam has the topics about Krishna, has the topics about the devotees in relationship with Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is glorification of Krishna by the devotees and glorification of the devotees. So Srimad Bhagavatam has everything. It contains activities of the Lord. It also contains activities of the devotees in connection with Lord. That has been given. Okay, Raksha Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. Srimad Bhagavatam is the history of the activities of the Lord, and the activities of the Lord are performed in the relation with the devotees of the Lord. Therefore, the history of the devotees is not different from the history of the Lord Krishna's activities. A devotee of the Lord regards both the activities of the Lord and those of his pure devotee on an equal level, for they are all transcendental. Hare Krishna.
Okay, stop here. Any questions you can ask. Now we have total 90 verses. I'm just planning to do 10 verses so that you will have 9 classes. 9 classes means 4 weeks. 4 weeks and 1 class. Is it okay with all of you? Till March end. So that in April we can start the new batch, Bhakti Vaibhava. We'll see if the students are there in the next batch or then continue with the same second canto. But second canto, instead of that, it's better take one revision. And those who are not given examination, they can write examination with confidence. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Why the confidence doesn't come while writing the exam? All the time we say, when writing exam also you should be confident. Somebody told me yesterday, Mataji, exam again. I said, so what happened? Every day is an examination only. We have to face an examination. These all small examinations are nothing. Okay, any questions? No questions? Hari Bol. Stop here. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhesha. Asindhu bhyavacha. Patitanam pavani.